Yeah. Yes. Please.
All right, good evening, everyone. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, if I could have a motion to approve the agenda for June 22nd. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yep.
Thank you.
Open forum. The Greenville Central School District wishes to facilitate public access to meetings of the Board of Education and to provide an opportunity for public comment at these meetings. Accordingly, the open forum provides an opportunity for members of the public to share thoughts about topics on the agenda. An individual's comments shall be limited to 5 minutes. Additionally, comments may be emailed to the district clerk, Daphne Pearson, using the email pearsond@greenvillecsd.org. In order for an email to be read during the meeting, it must be received by 4 p.m. on the day of the meeting, and state that the email is to be read out loud. Emails shall be limited to 600 words. Please note that this is not the time to register complaints that need to be addressed confidentially through the proper channels. Remarks that might be considered defamatory, obscene, profane, stigmatizing, or otherwise impermissible in public forums are prohibited and will be declared out of order. Board members actively listen during open forum, but may not immediately respond to comments. Is there anyone that would like to speak?
Hello, Denise Wickham, you guys know me. Since this is Mr. Hugendorf's last Board of Education meeting, we thought we wanted to send him off in the right way. So I've got something I would like to read. Todd Hugendorf's impact on Greenville extends far beyond any title he held. We would not be a place where everyone learns, teaches, belongs without his vision, dedication, and unwavering commitment to making us better. We gave faculty and staff members the opportunity to share their well wishes with Todd as he begins his new journey and a new adventure, I would say. Our intention was to create a keepsake book, but when the 50th letter came in, we realized we had to upgrade to a box. So Todd, please accept this gift from us. I think that what we'll miss most about Todd is encompassed in these letters, so I'll read just one. Todd, you hired me at Greenville and supported me through my career here. You understood my vision, my desires for education, and what it should look like, guiding and helping me to become a better version of myself. You pushed back when needed, propped me up when I was flagging, and encouraged me when I was on the right path. You not only understand students and what they need, but also envision a school where students can access the resources necessary to become who they can be. As a principal, you supported students, pushed teachers, and guided the development of the district. As curriculum coordinator, we made leaps and bounds in how we approach teaching and learning. The continuous school improvement that you fostered, I have to say, low-hanging fruit. I mean, it just popped into my mind. And how we approach teaching and learning. The continuous school improvement that you fostered has a continued impact on our everyday development, self-reflection, and our futures. In your current position, you have continued to support initiatives that benefit the district. The great additions to our classrooms and campus are evidence of this. What I am trying to say, you left a mark on me as an educator and the district as a whole, and that mark is indelible. You will not only be missed, but your absence will be the yawn of a foundation unfinished. The hard labor that wore most people out, or the average person shrank back from, is where you stepped in, undaunted by every challenge. Your approach of just working harder to fix a problem is one I will forever value. I am a better educator because of you, and your students have benefited from your tireless dedication to the Greenville Central School District. Thank you, my mentor, inspiration, and friend. Todd, there aren't enough words to say thank you for all that you've done for us, but these letters that you're going to read, and probably have a few tears, are a start. Hudson is gaining an exceptional superintendent, and we truly wish you all the best. I'm going to give you a blessing, okay? May the Lord bless you and keep you. May you make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his favor upon you and give you peace, both now and forevermore. God bless.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Do we have any emails?
No.
Okay. Which, thank you Denise, that actually works in beautifully for the next thing on the agenda. All right, Todd, I'm going to turn this way because somehow facing the camera just isn't quite right. So Todd, I am sincerely humbled to be able to say a few words as you embark on the next phase of your educational journey. You and I have known each other for over 13 years. I vividly remember a meeting with a high school student who wanted to start a new club. Your encouragement gave that student strength to dream of new possibilities. I am extremely grateful for your dedication and your willingness to always listen. I remember sharing conversations with you about a concept called High School High, where learning was reimagined and students led discussions. You believe in continuous learning, not as a vague concept, but as something that each of us must embrace and pursue. You set visions for others, and we will always cherish your willingness to challenge the status quo. Now your fashion ensemble, and thank you for the statement, it's absolutely perfect for what I'm going to say. So your fashion ensemble wouldn't be complete without a bow tie. In keeping with who you are, we would like to give you a small token that we will remind you of Greenville. It incorporates the maroon of Greenville with the blue of Hudson. May you always wear these items in good health. From the bottom of my heart, I wish you much success in your journey. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's more than just a bow tie. They're matching socks.
I would hope.
There's more than just that.
Oh, well, open it,
We
please.
want to say it.
I'll just add to it that we wanted to address where you've come from and where you're going. So we not only have the science socks, we have the Greenville meets Hudson, but we also have your first Superintendent Hildendorf engraved folder, notebook, whatever, but take it with you and use it well.
It has my name on it, thank you. Superintendent? Thank you very much, I truly appreciate it. I would say more, but I don't think it's okay. Just a simple thing.
So we can bring Denise back up in order to do an athletic update. That'll give you a couple of minutes. Not going to get enough of me tonight. All right, so spring cap recap. Baseball had a tough season this year for the Spartans. They ended 3-14. It was our second year without a JV baseball program, and hopefully we'll get that back again next year. Softball. This year we didn't have a varsity softball team.
We elected to go back to our basics and do modified and JV only. And both of our teams, the modified and the VART in the JV, were successful this year, so we're hoping that that will lead to more success within the program. Boys tennis. They made it to semifinals of sectionals this year. We had an influx of seniors that decided they wanted to play tennis, which was very exciting for our program. Sean Kenna, he made the first team all-conference, and Jude Aloisi and Chris Hughes made second team all-conference. They were a scholar athlete team. Matt Albano, Asher Britton, Benjamin Bouquet, Carl Houlihan, Sean Kenna, Akeka Martin, Isaac McEnany, Aaron Ross, Lucas Russell, and Steve Snyder were all on, held a 90 or above average during the season. So, boys track and field. Clarence Corcoran was the Section 2 Group 4 champion in the 1,600 meter run. Our 4x800 meter relay finished third at the state qualifiers, and that consisted of A.J. Tavy, Cohen Wilbur, Jacob Ford, and Clarence Corcoran, all of which will be back again next year, so we're looking for some good things out of those boys. Hopefully, they stay healthy. Jacob Ford was second team all-conference, and they were also a scholar athlete team. Alex Bouquet, Jacob Caprio, Clarence Corcoran, Jacob Ford, Alex Ingalls, Ben Johnstone, Lucas Russell, Lucas should not have been on there, sorry, Ryan Smigel, and Cohen Wilbur. We're all part of that. Girls track and field. Charlotte Dawson broke a school record in the 400 meter run. She's 1 minute, 0.74, right, hundredths of a second. So she's on the cusp of breaking the 1 minute mark for one lap around, right? So that's pretty amazing. Charlotte Dawson, she was also first team all-conference for obvious reasons. Daniela Arberg and Evelyn Corcoran were second team all-conference. They also were a scholar athlete team. Daniela Arberg, Evelyn Corcoran, Katie Cullen, Hannah Cummings, Priscilla Cummings, Elizabeth Davis, Charlotte Dawson, Jasmine Ellis, Molly Gardner, Ariana Good, Juliette Gulisane, Skylar Ryder, and Margaret Tavy, or Maggie Tavy. And I will say, this was the smallest team we'd had for track and field. In some ways, that was a really good thing for our coaching staff. In other ways, it prevented us from doing more of what we would like to see the team do. So since we last had an update, we did also have two major events that I wanted to just kind of touch upon. May 27th, we had Senior Commitment Day. 9 seniors were recognized and honored for going off to college, 1, and then 2, also going to play in an athletic program at their college. So that's an amazing attribute. Jude Aloisi is going to Cobleskill, and he's going to be playing soccer. Sebastian Bryant, also going to Cobleskill, and he's going to be playing baseball. And our third going to Cobleskill, Joe Barnes, is also going to go there and play soccer. So we can just go over to Cobleskill and we can see all of our kids there. Evelyn Corcoran is going to SUNY ESF, and she's going to participate in track and field. Molly Gardner is attending Hudson Valley Community College, and she wants to play soccer there. Dancy King is going to Castleton University for volleyball, so we have a wide range. Jacob Ford is going to Mount St. Mary College, and he's going to play soccer. Lucas Russell is going to SUNY Poly for soccer, and Landon Smigel is going to SUNY Delhi for golf. So they deserve a lot of applause, because that takes a lot for them, not only, and there's probably, as I look at this list, they're probably all on our scholar athlete. So they're doing it in the classroom, and they're doing it on the fields and in the gyms. June 11th, we had our Varsity Sports Awards tonight, so that was a wonderful thing. The theme this year was United in Action. We had 81 scholar athletes throughout the year. 16 of our 17 varsity programs were scholar athlete teams. 5 return conference championship teams, one Aqua League championship team, which was kind of cool. So we're gonna have a banner in our gym that says we're Aqua Leagues, right? So for swimming. 2 sectional championship teams, our boys soccer and the boys swim team was a Section 2 championship team. 1 individual Section 2 champion, which was Clarence Corcoran. And 43 all-conference athletes, 3 conference MVPs. 2 new school records were broken. Charlotte Dawson in the 400 meter, she broke it 3 times. I had to do 3 different plans. That's okay. And boys swim and diving for the 400 meter freestyle relay. And Ashton Gunter, one of ours, was on that team. And then we had Brett, Cole, and Landon Hungerford. So they have a whole Hungerford relay team on that, except for ours. So some thank yous. I want to say thank you to my coaches because without them, none of this is possible. They're incredible. They work with our kids day in, day out tirelessly. We are actually having more and more outside coaches, as opposed to having inside coaches, which makes things a little bit more challenging, but it's wonderful, right? Because people are stepping up in our community to work with our kids. I'd like to thank our administrators for their contributions to athletics, because athletics is not just a single, it encompasses your whole entire district to do a good athletic program, to run a good athletic program. And the next people, Rich and Kayla in Buildings and Grounds, amazing. Our facilities looked incredible this year, right? Outside, inside, they work really, really hard to make sure everything comes together for us. And Mary and Kristen in transportation, making sure we get to where we need to go when we need to be there. I wanted to say too, we had 11 underclassmen tri-sport athletes. That means they played in 3 sports, so 1 every single season. And that's a wonderful thing. 8 of our seniors were tri-sport or quad sport athletes. And the one thing I think that is really, really nice is 18 of our 38 senior athletes, so we had 38 seniors that participated within the program throughout the year, were career scholar athletes, meaning they maintained a 92% or better average all the way through their third quarter in high school. So they're pretty incredible, our kids. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to move this on to a discussion portion. So first, Todd, I'm going to turn it over to you to discuss the district-wide school safety plan, please.
So this is an, excuse me, this is an annual appointment by the board. So the district-wide safety plan gets approved every summer. It has to be uploaded by the start of the school year in September. So we work through Questar Risk Management Services that actually helps look through our plan. Also in the business office, thanks to Sarah Statham that works on this to update every year. So tonight it's on here just as a mention. The next meeting in July, there will actually be a public hearing that has to be held annually for the purpose of reviewing, and if there's any public hearing or public comments on the plan, they can be shared at that time. And then it would be on the August board meeting agenda for approval so that it could be submitted prior to the start of the school year. A lot of the district-wide plan, it is reviewed every year, but a lot of it is rolled over year to year. Some of the things that you'll notice updates, just the dates are updated year to year. And then this year there was one significant addition that I just want to touch on a little bit. It was actually, it's called Desha's Law that came about in the summer of 2025. So we actually had to have this for our previous school year. Basically, it's a plan for how we manage and provide opportunities for AEDs on campus. So that's not a new idea at Greenville. This law required us to put in place a written plan. So we did that last fall. It just happened after the district-wide plan was adopted last year. So this is just kind of folding that separate plan into the district-wide safety plan, which is where it's supposed to live. So it looks like a significant change in the plan, but it's really just merging these 2 pieces together.
And this also is looked at by the district health or district safety council throughout the year. If there's things that come up, we kind of take note of it and bring it back to this plan. But other than the Desch's Law piece changing for ADs, this pretty much is same as the current year.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are any of the AEDs in a location where if our community groups are using the fields for soccer or people walking the track off hours, are they available? Is that part of the law?
I'm looking at Rich. Do we have one outside that's accessible? No.
No.
No, they're all in the building. When we have events that are school-sponsored events, so Denise speaking about athletics, when they're out on the field, we have portable AEDs that can be transported out. If it's after hours and the building's closed and somebody just happens to be here, no, we
So it
don't. We're
doesn't
not
have to be-
required to provide access at that time.
Okay, I just wasn't sure, like with building use and stuff, if that requires us to have it.
If it's building use and they're using our
Field
facilities,
use.
then there's the potential to access them then. If it's off hours, unsanctioned school event, then no,
Okay.
if that clarifies. Alright, so again, this will be on July for the public hearing portion of it, and then August for approval. Yeah.
Actually, it'll be on the August 10th, because it's gotta be 30 days. So we're mentioning it tonight, so it's the 23rd through July 23rd. So
Okay.
this is the July meeting, so it'll be on the August 10th as a public hearing, and then I'll put it on as an action item that night.
That same night, so public, okay, so it's not July, public hearing and approval is also
She actually
August.
had it wrong, so I corrected that by the.
Thanks. Good catch, thank you.
All right, next up is leadership roles. It is that time of the year again. So, at our next meeting on July 13th, the reorganization meeting, board members will nominate and vote for a president and a vice president. Now, there appears to be some confusion about these roles, so I thought it might be helpful to explain some points. So let's start with the board president. The board president sets the meeting agenda, runs the meetings, signs contracts only after the full board has authorized that they are allowed to sign, and is responsible for ensuring that the superintendent is evaluated on an annual basis by the entire board. The position doesn't grant any special authority to the individual. The other leadership role is that of the vice president. The duties of the VP are to run the meeting when the VP can't be there, when the president cannot be. Now, both positions are determined every year at the July reorganization meeting. A board member will nominate someone to one of the two leadership positions, and the entire board will vote on each individual. A majority of votes will determine the outcome for both positions. Several years ago, people felt that the process was too secretive. As a result, we added a discussion to the last board meeting in June for members to express a desire to serve in leadership positions. I believe it's important for leadership to be forward-thinking. After all, change is one of the only absolutes that we have in life. Over a year ago, I started a conversation. I knew that others were ready to step into the role of president, and I believe that the time has come.
Thank you for explaining that. As much as I think I would like to be president, my current work schedule doesn't let me do that. So I am not going to be in the running. And if you nominate me, I won't serve.
Okay.
Everyone will step forward.
Anyone else, any other thoughts?
I have enjoyed being in leadership this year. I do not have a preference as to which role it is, but I do enjoy the extra work that it comes with and the learning that I've gotten to do. So if you guys think I'm up for it, then I'm willing to take on whatever you want to put me up for.
Okay, then I'm going to move us right along. All right, Kelly, I'm going to turn it over to you for the district committees and board representation.
Okay, so along the same lines, at the July reorganization meeting, I think that's the meeting where we approved the committees, right? We're kind of changing this up a little and having this conversation now in preparation for approving the committees over the summer. We have a list on the agenda: technology, policy, district facilities, safety, shared decision-making at the district level, the audit committee. There's a historical precedent of having a Greene County School Board delegate. We haven't had one in years. They haven't met, I think, since pre-COVID. So we have it on the list, but I'm not necessarily saying we need someone there right now. And then we have the NISBA advocacy liaison and the NISBA voting delegate. It's been the same person. It doesn't have to be the same person. They are two different things. The voting delegate serves at that 6 to 8 hour long annual meeting in October to represent our board's voice. The advocacy liaison works with NISBA on an ongoing basis all year long. So those are all of the committees where we have an opportunity to sit and listen and serve. And I've heard, I think, from everybody. So I can just kind of run down the list. Technology, I think will be, if we approve, when we go to approve it, Patrick, are you willing to take that one on for next year? Policy has 3 board members. Right now it's Tracy, Eric, and Dave, and all 3 would like to continue. District facilities is Eric, and you're willing to continue with that one, you said?
If someone had interest.
You had interest in safety, correct?
Correct, but if Eric no wishes to do that, I will step back.
I'll let you 2 figure it out. But for safety, we actually had a conversation with Todd in leadership. Dave wants to continue, but we thought since that was where Karen's interest was, if you're willing to also sit there, we would just create a second spot for a board member there, because Karen brings a lot of history as well for that committee. District level shared decision, I would prefer to continue with if no one else has expressed interest in that, and I think it would be good to have a little bit of continuity there, since that was kind of a newer charge to that committee over the last couple of years. Audit, we have Dave, Eric, and we need one more. So, Mariah, would you like to take on audit? Okay. The delegate, like I said, right now, until we know that they're going to do anything in Greene County with the school boards, I think we can let it ride. And that leaves us with the 2 NISBA positions. Currently, I'm serving in both. I can continue, but if anyone is interested and wants to speak to me about more of that, I'm happy to take somebody else alongside and we can go from there. Everybody good? Does anybody have anything they want to give up that they didn't tell me about, or that they want to continue that I forgot? Okay, great. Then we're all set there.
Kelly, I just want to confirm, we don't normally appoint committees until September.
Okay.
But this part's good to know because that fills in those holes.
It fills in our.
There's an opportunity over the summer where Brenda will look at, look at people, members there and support staff to fill in the rest of them.
Great, but our part will be done and we can move forward.
All right, thank you very much for organizing it. Summer tutoring. Todd, can you provide an update on that, please?
I can. So Melissa Macaluso was going to provide this. She wasn't able to be here tonight, so she did share some information with me to provide the board with a quick update. So as a reminder, over the summer, over the past probably 5 or 6 years, we've done, instead of a traditional summer school, we have summer tutoring that's more targeted to individual students and small groups of students with specific skills in reading and math. So it really is summer tutoring is probably a better description of it than summer school. This happens over the summer at the elementary school and middle school in 2-hour blocks. So right now, well, I'll start with last year, just to give you some numbers. Last year we had 20 middle school students that participated and 53 elementary school students. As of today, middle school, we have 7 students that are confirmed, but possible as final grades are completed this week, more students might be added to that list. And elementary school, currently there are 41 students that are confirmed that will be attending, but again, that number could potentially grow over the next week or so. The tutoring doesn't start until the week of July 6th, so there is some time for those numbers to go up. In addition to the reading and math work that is done over the summer, at the elementary school, the portion of the 2-hour block will also be spent in the Collab Lab doing a variety of different STEM-related activities to get students engaged in some just different work over the summer. And at the middle school, they're using Lego Spike kits, so it's curriculum actually produced by Lego, so robotics and kind of STEM-type activities that are also intermixed with that reading and math, just to provide something different during that time when students are here. As of right now, we are in a good place for staffing. So at the middle school, we have 6 staff members that will be providing those services, and at the elementary school, we have 12 staff members. So good place in terms of the staffing. Numbers are good in terms of the number of students committed, and again, those numbers quite possibly will go up between now and when it starts in July.
Todd, do we have a way of measuring effectiveness? I know there was a discussion, I think, last year, and in looking at some of the performance, we don't see the summer slide, particularly among those students, so that's great because they don't have to catch up with what they've forgotten. But I was just curious about how do we evaluate the effectiveness?
Yeah. So there's always an element of looking at those students that participate versus students that maybe didn't participate. It's also hard from a statistical standpoint. This is a very small sample set, right? So if we're getting into statistical analysis and effectiveness from a statistics point of view, not really a study that can be done with those small numbers. However, looking at it from the perspective of, here's a student that was challenged or had challenges towards the end of the year, attended summer tutoring, and then at the beginning of the year, they were at least maybe didn't dip down as far or stayed kind of on par where they were. That is absolutely part of the RTI process and part of what happens at the building level, looking at those individual students. So I would say that would absolutely continue. Can certainly cycle back to that at the end of summer. If the board is interested in kind of looking at some of that information, we can certainly provide that.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Let's see. All right, I'm going to move us on to the action items. I need a motion to approve the finance reports for the month ending, well, it's not really the reports is plural, and it's one.
Board transfers.
It's board transfers, correct. So I need a motion to approve the board transfers for the end of the year.
Eric and Patrick?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to accept the Committee on Special Education recommendations.
Eric and Patrick?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to approve the personnel agenda.
Chairman? Kelly?
Any discussion?
Yeah. Just a quick question, or a couple quick questions, Todd. On the extra duty compensation for clubs, first question is, those amounts are frozen for the length of their extended contract. We just negotiated, right?
Correct.
In your time, maybe entirety, but certainly in your time in the business office, are you aware of those numbers ever changing?
I don't know off the top of my head. We'd have to go back. I know within one contract, there were some increases to them, but I don't know the specifics.
That would be a while ago, right?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Or,
Certainly
I
go back
imagine
to
the
it.
typical thing is that the same percentage for salaries would be applied to those. Unless there's some, my point is that when I look at these, I don't know, maybe you agree or disagree, maybe the other board members have looked at them. When you have an amount and then you continually over contract, you start applying percentages, then they get kind of skewed. And then when you look at, with familiarity, the workload involved in some of those, in my mind, they get kind of out of kilter as well, as far as the dollar or the compensation. So I know we're not going to do anything about it tonight, but I would suggest that at some point, I know I've been involved where I worked before, and it's a nightmare to go through all the work and then how do you get fairness as far as compensation, but I think that's something we need to look at. And it might allow more interest in doing it.
Yes.
You didn't have to answer any questions.
Is there a question in there? Or just-
You can say yes, Dave.
Yes, Dave.
But thank you.
That would be part of the conversation and negotiations of looking at those, and determining, there was work done within my time here, don't ask me to hear, but trying to align some of them so that they were at least similar. Like if this club and this club has similar responsibilities, let's make the stipend the same. So at one point, some of them came up to kind of match
Right.
others. absolutely, that's something that can't just be done once and forgotten, can be part of an ongoing process to continue to look at that.
Other questions? I would like to say, Daphne, it was much easier to read. The table format is fabulous, so thank you. Yeah. All right, then, all in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to approve the transfer to the Capital Reserve Fund in the amount of $50,000 upon the closing out of the 25-26 school year.
David Patrick?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to approve the resolution dated June 22nd of the Board of Education of the Greenville Central School District authorizing the transfer of funds to the tax cert reserve funds in the amount of $1,200,000.
Kelly? Karen?
Any discussion?
Have we had any interaction with the lawyers on how this is going? Has the process started? Are there arguments being taken place? Are there hints that we need this money?
So that's a lot of questions. So let me back up for a second just so that there's an understanding of what this is. So over the past year, we have a landowner within the Greenville School District that is contesting their taxes. As part of that, they went back several years and contesting taxes back for a few years. If they were to get everything that they asked for, the maximum liability for the district would be approximately $2.4 million. With the advisement of council, there's two different things happening. One is doing a full assessment of this property, which is a unique property, so it's not just an assessment that you can go out and get a typical assessor and ask them to, hey, come assess my home and tell me what it's worth. It's way more complicated than that. So there's actually 2 school districts and 2 townships that are part of this. So the board, several months ago, maybe even the fall, it was a while ago, the board approved a transfer that allowed us to go in with those other 3 parties to do an assessment of this property. So that's kind of where we still are. That assessment piece has not even fully started. We have a contract in place, or we have an agreement in place, we have money set aside for this purpose, but that is kind of the first main step. This money that's going into this tax cert, the goal was to get half of that total possible liability, hoping that that would be a safe spot for the district to get to. The challenge will be, this is not going to be resolved by the time tax bills go out in August of this year, so the amount that could potentially be paid back will just increase as soon as the tax bill goes out in August, so that number will just keep going up, so the district has to make sure to kind of pay attention to this throughout next year. My prediction is it probably won't even be settled within the next year, and it will just continue to have to look at what money can go into this reserve to protect the district long term. Does that answer your question, Dave? So yes, we've been in working with our school attorneys to go through this process. Really the piece right now is waiting for that appraisal to be done and see where that lands.
Todd, could you talk a little bit about if for, let's say, the tax bill or whatever ends up being less than the amount that was projected, what happens to the funds that were put into that reserve?
Good question. So we'll use specific numbers. So this year, this is $1.2 million going into this reserve. Say it all works out and we only have to pay $600,000 of that back to this landowner, and now there's $600,000 sitting in this tax cert reserve, or some variation thereof. A tax cert reserve can only be funded if there's a specific potential liability on the books. So we couldn't just put money in this reserve without showing, hey, there's this pending case that might require us to pay this money. So if that all gets settled and there's money still in this reserve, the district has 3 years to move the money out of that reserve and use it in another way. So hopefully when that happens, right? Let's hope that it gets to a point where all this money, or maybe none of this money, is spent and the district has the opportunity to repurpose that money. It can't sit in that reserve for more than 3 years. It could be pulled out in installments. It could be used to offset tax increases. It could be used to fund a different reserve, like a capital reserve or a bus reserve. Basically, the district would have 3 years to figure out where that money should otherwise be utilized.
Any other questions then? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to approve the professional development plan statement of certification.
Patrick and Dave?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to approve the contract between the Greenville Central School District and vendor Hayden for the period of July 9th, 2026 through June 25th, 2027.
Mariah? Patrick?
Any discussion?
I have a quick question. It's being approved for the coming year. The billing is based on the estimated, the 25-26 rate? Okay, so is that just because we haven't actually, it's an estimated rate?
It's an estimated rate, they don't necessarily set their rates, so sometimes we might get rate adjustments multiple years later where we then owe back a certain amount when the rates are set and locked in by the state.
Okay.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to approve the contract between the Greenville Central School District and Devereaux, New York from July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027.
Karen? Patrick?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to approve the appointment of officers for the 25-26 and 26-27 something. Right? Appointment of the officers for both school years.
Eric and Patrick?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to approve confirmation of services of Bonadio and Co. LLP Certified Public Accountants.
Patrick? Kelly?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to appoint several individuals as listed below to serve as the Board of Voter Registration for the 27-28 school year. Okay, so it's a motion for the 26-27 school year.
Patrick? Second. Dave?
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I need a motion to approve the overnight field trip. Their FFA is going to Oswegatchie.
Karen and Eric?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving us along to topics for discussion of a future meeting. Does anyone have any input that they would like to see added to the agenda? Okay, keep thinking, guys. All right, a couple of reminders. We had 3 moving up ceremonies, right? So we have Wednesday the 24th is the 5th grade advancement in the high school auditorium starting at 8:30. We then have the following day, the 25th, the middle school 8th grade advancement, also in the high school auditorium. And then on Friday, June 26th, we have the high school graduation in the middle school, high school auditorium at 6 p.m. that evening. We have the school improvement workshop on July 1st and 2nd from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then our reorganizational and first business meeting on July 13th. For August, we have a board workshop that will begin before the board meeting, and then we'll go into the board meeting at 6 o'clock, and that's on August 10th. So please mark your calendars accordingly. I'm going to move us then to closing open forum. Closing open forum. Please note the same guidelines apply as stated during the first open forum. Is there anyone that would like to speak? Do we have any emails?
I would like to share something, Tracy.
Absolutely.
So, as it's my last meeting, I also want to acknowledge 2 of our administrators that are leaving Greenville at the end of June. They're both not here tonight, which I'm going to take as an insult, because I told them I was going to say something nice about them, and then they both said they had other commitments that they weren't able to be here tonight. But I'm speaking about Mr. Urban at the elementary school's principal, and also Ms. Gorgon, who is our high school principal. So just want to take a minute and recognize them and share a few words about them. I've been fortunate to work with both of them. So Matt has been here at Greenville for 2 years. Christy has been with us for 5 years. I've enjoyed working with them. I can say honestly that I'm leaving, having worked with them, a better educator and a better leader myself, because I've learned from both of them. But way better than me saying things, I went around and asked some kids for some thoughts, because that's always way more entertaining, and I think as an educator, way more meaningful. So I have a couple of comments for each of them, and I hope that they can go back and watch this, the advantage of these meetings being recorded. So for Mr. Urban, starting with the kindergartner, my favorite memory of Mr. Urban was when he quizzed me on my heart words before school. Kindergartner, that's a big deal, getting quizzed on their heart words. A second grader, I will miss how supportive Mr. Urban was of me and how he made me laugh by talking about putting on his principal hat, which is an imaginary Abraham Lincoln hat. Don't know what that means, but for this kid, he will probably always remember that. A third grader, Mr. Urban is a good friend to us. He is kind and calm, and I will miss that. A fourth grader, I will miss hearing his voice over the announcements in the morning. Now we will have to get used to someone else's voice. Yeah, that's what the fourth graders are thinking about. A fifth grader, I just really liked him. I also liked his beard. It makes him look tough. And another fifth grader, I will miss Mr. Urban because he was so kind and enthusiastic. When you got in trouble, he didn't yell or get mad at you. He just simply explained why those choices were bad and how to make better choices. So again, a nice way for Mr. Urban to be sent off from Greenville. I will say for me professionally, what I was impressed with Matt, he's only been here for 2 years. At the end of last year, if you had a conversation with him, you would have thought he was at Greenville for 10 years already because of his knowledge of the building and the district and the people. He really embraced everything that was Greenville and will be missed. And then there's Miss Gorman at the high school. Little different comments from students coming from some high schoolers, and they were okay that I shared their names. So the first one is from Runa. Mrs. G, which is how she's referred sometimes, Mrs. G is always bright and vibrant when I see her. She engages with us as students and makes us feel important as individuals. From Kirsten. Mrs. Gorgon is one of the kindest and funniest people I've met. Her ability to make others laugh is unmatched. I will definitely miss her positive attitude towards others and her ability to find good in even the worst of situations. She always has a positive outlook, and I'll always remember the constant support and positivity she has brought to me. Another thing I admire about her is how hardworking and dedicated she is to her job and to us as students. From Landon. I did have to ask Landon to make sure it was publicly shareable and appropriate. I've appreciated the welcoming, friendly face of Mrs. G ever since she started at Greenville. She's always been someone who has helped me get through high school, whether it was her telling me I better turn in my late assignments, or her giving me advice about stopping going to Turning Stone and save my money instead. She always had some funny remark to keep me laughing and smiling throughout the day. Although her time here is ending, she has made a long-lasting impact on the students of GCS, including myself. I wish her luck as she moves on to her next school, but she will be very missed here at Greenville. I will remember her as the funny, kind, and most personal principal I've known. And one more from Katie. No matter how busy she is, Miss G always makes sure everyone around her is okay, and she's always there to support us. I will miss her kindness and how much she cares about the people around her. And if you ever spend time with Christy at the high school, this rings true. Like, you feel this if you walk around the high school with her. The true respect and admiration that students have for her is felt when you're in the building. So I wish both Matt and Christy the best of luck as they move on to their next chapter. I'm going to try to say something else. If I don't get through it, I'm just going to turn it back over to you. I've been very fortunate to serve this school district for 13 years, and I'm truly leaving excited about my next opportunity, but also truly humbled by the amount of love that I felt from Greenville over the past week. These are lovely gifts, and I appreciate them. I will go home and look at them and probably shed a tear or two, because I'm leaving here with incredible relationships and incredible work that I have done with incredible educators. In the letter that I wrote that I sent out to faculty and staff, and I put a lot of time and thought into that, I really focused on our mission of being a place where everyone learns, teaches, and belongs, and truly feel like I have learned something, I have taught people others things, and I have truly felt a sense of belonging. My last lesson, if I can give one, is I'm a country music fan. So this past week I was listening to an album from a few years ago, Tanya Tucker. Anybody Tanya Tucker fans in the audience? Tanya Tucker has a song that when I listened to it this past week kind of had new meaning, and that's always fun when you listen to a song that you know, but you listen to it, it's like, huh, this is hitting a little different because of the place that I am in my life right now. So the song is called Bring My Flowers Now, and to me, listening to it, it's really about sharing your appreciation for those around you when you have the opportunity to do so. And I have never felt that more than I have in the past 2 weeks, and really the past week after announcing that I was moving on to a different opportunity. The amount of appreciation and love that I have felt in Greenville, and from people that, yes, I would expect, but others, little comments of like, hey, I was in a meeting with you 8 years ago and you said something that has stuck out to me and I still think about on a regular basis. Thank you for that. That has been tremendous. I have also tried to be around the district the past week, sharing that back because I'm truly appreciative of the people in this district and have tried to put that back. So my last parting lesson is like, make it known. For educators here, for the board out here, make it known the appreciation that you have and the gratitude that you have for all the amazing educators that work at Greenville, because hearing that appreciation and giving that appreciation truly makes this a place where everyone learns, teaches, and belongs. So I will leave it there. Thank you so, so very much. I did.
I got it.
It seems somehow anticlimactic to say I need a motion to adjourn to executive session to discuss personnel. Oh.
My name is Christy Ross. I am the BTSA treasurer, but I'm coming here tonight as a parent. I've served on the middle school BLT, I don't even know how long, maybe Mr. Reed will know, the high school BLT, the DLT committee, and I've always really enjoyed doing that. I've enjoyed taking the things back that we learn on the committees, back to the parents, and kind of being a liaison. So with that being said, I don't know how many people have Facebook, but I just want to let you know that a lot of parents are very concerned as to where we're heading as a school. So it's up to you what you guys want to do, but I think that it would be good to either write a statement or have the school do a statement, because they're not sure with the elementary principal leaving and the high school principal leaving and a new superintendent coming on. There's a lot of parents that are nervous about how this coming school year is going to go, how we're going to be prepared for this coming school year. So I'm just doing the same role that I've always done, is that I'm taking the information that the parents have to say and I'm passing it on to you. So whatever you want to do with it is up to you. But I think that it would be in the best interest of the board, considering we've had problems in the past with transparency, is to take that step forward and share with them that we do have a plan. We're going to hire new people on. We're going to have our summer sessions as we always have. And we know when we're going to be hiring and when those new admin are going to be coming on, just so that they can see what's going on. There's a lot of parents that have never sat on a committee, that don't know how these things go, that don't know how long things take. And I think that if we're proactive and we put out a statement, it will make things a lot better.
Thank you. Oh, come on up.
Thank you. I didn't really have anything to say, but just to follow up on Christy.
Wait, for the record.
Sorry, I'm Margaret Kelly, longtime resident of the district, parent of graduates of the school and a bunch of other affiliations. Anyway, I agree that it could be in everyone's best interest to put something out about how we're planning to fulfill the leadership roles. I understand that people may be anxious and nervous, but I think it's also important to recognize that what makes Greenville goes way beyond our principals. I'm not devaluing them or our superintendent, but the foundation is there in the strong faculty and staff that we have throughout the district. And while we are in the process of hiring new leaders and have just hired a new superintendent who has a very long history with Greenville,
we, it's not just those individuals that make Greenville run. So things aren't going to be changing overnight because we have new leaders, coming in. The strong foundation that is Greenville that continues. But people get nervous, and it never hurts to sort of give an outline. From my knowledge of the district, you wouldn't have gone out and filled those principal positions knowing that you were getting a new superintendent, because you want the superintendent to bring in their team of people. So that is, sort of this first sequence in the sequence of events that was, I understood, but I think the community would be like, okay, here's where we sort of think we are. It wouldn't hurt to put that out, as Christy's saying, be proactive. And thank you for what you guys are doing. It's a tough job, and you're totally unappreciated, as you know. You should not read Facebook, just so you know, and in general. And just, keep doing the hard work you're doing. And Todd, congratulations on your new job, and, they need you, and you're going to be there for them. So that's wonderful. So thank you all.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak? All right, then I am going to move us. I need a motion to be made to adjourn to executive session to discuss personnel matters concerning the employment of a particular person or persons.
Dave, Karen?
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Thank you, everyone.